Welcome to ESL Class 101, where English is made simple and learning is made fun. Ready to listen like a pro? Sharpen your ears and grab your pen. You'll listen twice, first for the big picture, then for the juicy details. Take quick notes, complete each task, and show what you've learned. Let's dive in and turn sound into sharp answers. In this task, you will listen carefully to a short story. Your goal is to identify the central message, the main point the story is trying to convey. After listening, write one clear sentence that summarizes this main idea.
It was the day of the much-awaited field trip to the City Museum. Ms. Ramos's class had been preparing for weeks. The students wore matching yellow shirts, carried their backpacks, and brought snacks for the day. Everyone was excited to see the dinosaur fossils and ancient artifacts. After an hour on the bus, the class arrived at the museum. Inside, the students wandered through the exhibits, taking notes and sketching what they saw. While most were interested in the dinosaur skeletons, one student, Nina, noticed something strange. A glass case holding an ancient coin was slightly open. Should I tell someone? She thought. She looked around and saw no one nearby, so she ran to Ms. Ramos. Ms. Ramos quickly told the museum staff. A guard arrived and carefully inspected the case. It turned out the case lock had been damaged earlier that day, and the museum hadn't noticed. Thanks to Nina's sharp eyes, the staff was able to secure the coin before it went missing. At the end of the trip, the museum staff thanked Nina in front of the class and gave her a small book about ancient treasures. Everyone cheered for her. The trip didn't just teach them about history, it taught them the value of being observant and responsible.
Now, pause the video and take a moment to write down the main idea of the story. You may write it on a sheet of paper or share it in the comments section below. Next, let's move on to title creation. In this task, listen to the passage again if needed. This time, focus on the theme and tone of the story. Your challenge is to create a clear and engaging title that captures the essence of the story in just a few words. Then pause the video and write a title that best fits the story you just heard. Now, let's try true or false. Read each statement carefully and decide if it is correct based on the story you heard. Write T for true and F for false.
1. The students visited a zoo on their field trip. 2. Nina noticed that a display case was partly open. 3. Ms. Ramos ignored Nina's concern. 4. Nina was given a book as a reward for being observant.
Let's move on to comprehension questions. Think carefully about what you heard in the story. Answer each question in a complete sentence, using your notes or recalling key details from the passage.
1. Where did the class go for their field trip? 2. What did Nina notice about the coin exhibit? 3. What did Ms. Ramos do when Nina told her? 4. What did the museum staff do to thank Nina?
Finally, let's complete summarizing the passage. This task brings everything together. In 2 to 3 sentences, write a clear summary of the story using your own words. Focus on the main idea and the most important details to show your full understanding of what you heard. Pause the video and write a brief summary of the story in your own words. Let us now go over all your answers. Being observant and speaking up can help prevent problems and protect valuable things. This is the main idea of the story because the events center around a student, Nina, who noticed something unusual, a glass case slightly open in the museum. Instead of ignoring it, she chose to speak up and inform her teacher. Her actions helped prevent the possible loss of a valuable ancient coin. The story highlights how being observant and taking responsibility can make a difference, which is the key lesson the class, and the reader, learns. The Field Trip Surprise is the best title for the story because it captures the unexpected and important event that occurred during the class trip. While the students were expecting a fun and educational visit to the museum, they were surprised by a real-life situation involving a security issue with a valuable artifact. The title reflects the central moment of the story and builds interest by hinting at an unexpected twist.
1. The students visited a zoo on their field trip.
This statement is false because the students did not visit a zoo. The story clearly states that they went on a field trip to the city museum, where they looked at dinosaur fossils, ancient artifacts, and an ancient coin.
2. Nina noticed that a display case was partly open. 3. Ms. Ramos ignored Nina's concern.
Ms. Ramos did not ignore Nina's concern. When Nina told her about the open glass case, Ms. Ramos immediately informed the museum staff. Her quick action helped ensure the ancient coin was secured, showing that she took Nina's observations seriously.
4. Nina was given a book as a reward for being observant.
One. Where did the class go for their field trip?
The class went to a city museum for their field trip.
2. What did Nina notice about the coin exhibit?
Nina noticed that the glass case holding an ancient coin was slightly open.
3. What did Ms. Ramos do when Nina told her?
Ms. Ramos told the museum staff right away.
4. What did the museum staff do to thank Nina?
The museum staff gave Nina a book and thanked her in front of the class. During a field trip to the museum, Nina noticed a display case was open and told her teacher. Thanks to her quick thinking, the museum secured a valuable coin, and Nina was thanked publicly for her responsibility. This is a good summary because it captures the key events and main message of the story in a clear and concise way. It mentions the setting, the museum field trip, the main character's action, Nina noticing and reporting the open case, the outcome, the coin was secured, and the recognition she received. It highlights the values of being observant, responsible, and speaking up, which are the central themes of the story. We've now reached the end of our listening activities. I hope these exercises helped you develop your listening skills. You're welcome to revisit them anytime to deepen your understanding. At ESL Class 101, our goal is to support you in building strong English communication skills. Thanks for joining, and see you again soon.